Hi.
Hi.
Hala.
الحمد لله بخير. انت كيف حالك؟
I'm fine. Thank you so much for this, to be honest.
Thank you for saying yes and saying yes to join and saying yes to talk about your experience.
Like, I'm grateful, and there are actually people out there who want to know, who are already talking about this. It doesn't make social media so much silly as it seems nowadays, but it gives it so much meaning. And so I really hope enough. And yeah, mashallah, best of luck. You seem like you're doing it with complete passion. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Okay, so let's start with who is Hala?
Okay. At first, I'm having my coffee, so I'm
Yes.
Okay. I can't define myself on the very characteristic side, but I can tell you I'm a curly-headed person who is very energetic, hyper, always up to trying new things. I love coffee, math, pizza so much. Yani my food, my drink, and it's just my favorite subject. I'm 23-year-old. Doesn't look like it. I don't show it. But it's fine. And I'm always up to trying anything that comes in my way, as long as it's not food that I don't like. But experiences, I'm always down for it, and I'm very wonderful. يعني حتى those around me, they know that Hala comes up with the funky ideas لما ما يكون في ideas at all. I come up with this because I hate to make anyone around me feel uncomfortable or not in their house, not in their group. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm. Hi, hello, how are you?
But that's so good. Yani, well, I like people who are like this, very social.
Yeah, I try my best. Yani, if I'm in the group, I really, if it's my group, my people, I like to be that person. If I'm in a different group, I really hope, before I actually be part of this, there will be that someone who will take my place and make me feel like it's okay, it's fine. You're not an outsider.
Yeah. Okay, so what do you do when it comes to, like education-wise or job, maybe?
Okay, so I studied, I took my bachelor's in international finance, bachelor's of fine arts, because it has a lot of maths, and that's the main reason I actually got into it. I graduated last summer, and now I am a community manager / content creator at U-Turn Entertainment. I never knew what a community manager is until I got the position itself. So basically, I do the running of social media accounts for the company, and I come up with engaging content whenever they need it, not my option. So that's what I do for a living.
Okay, and do you enjoy doing that? Like,
depends. The content creation, yes, I enjoy it because I put myself in the audience place, and I can understand more of what they are expecting. So it's easier for me to deliver. Community management, not really. It's not my thing. I don't like to run accounts that are not mine because I personally have my vision to put in. But if it's a company's vision, that's a lot of stress and pressure of what you say, the words you use, your tone of voice, how you reply, your post. The responsibilities there depends on the company's vision, whether you like it or not. And that makes me feel just to get the job. That's the feeling.
And you feel restricted, no?
Big time. You feel restricted because, for example, when replying to audience, because the tone of voice, if you were told what's the tone of voice you have in your company, then you cannot just come up with your own, just because you personally feel like it. Same goes with content. It will all fall back to whatever the company has as a vision, as a mission, and what their core business is.
Okay. I also noticed that you have another business, no?
Yeah, I do.
So tell us about it, maybe.
Actually, there was one tiny business that I tried. It's called Forever Living, if you've heard of it. It's basically all natural products. I love nature with all that it brings in. I don't like chemicals. I just like it. Tell me it comes from nature. This is almond. It does this. Thank you very much.
Yes.
So the whole business was about aloe vera. They just got one plant and made hundreds of products out of it. I used them myself and I found amazing results.
Okay.
So I started marketing for them for a very short period of time until I got my full-time job. and then I stopped doing that. Sadly, يعني, but I just felt I did not have enough time to do it.
Okay. So for your Instagram page, which is trial, do you consider it as a business as well, or is it just for fun?
Okay, it started off as me trying so many things that I wanted to share, and ever since I had a private account, even before a blog, I used to share a lot. It hit me once that I am in a place where I can try so much. So why not actually give it a shot, and instead of just giving it to my friends, give it to the public. I just restricted myself to only one thing, that I will only post positive feedback, because I'm not there to judge or criticize. But if I enjoy it and it makes the feed has some sense of positivity, then I'm gonna share it. Then it started off as I'm gonna share whatever I try for the first time, or whatever I have a positive review about, whether it's a product, a service, or a place that I visit. Let's say an arcade that I found very special, and it was my first time visiting. I would take a couple of shots, write it down, write the location, and it's up to you if you would like to go for a visit or not. Whatever I said previously, that was for the fun part. But for the business sides, for example, collaborations with brands that have a certain mission. For example, I got a collab once with a sports company. They have some fitness like clothing and bottles, something that I would love to be part of. This, in that sense, yes, I would share like posts business, يعني in a business manner, not just for fun.
Okay. And were you afraid to start sharing those trials with the public?
Yes. I have the account for a year now, and I had the idea for almost 2 years now. So it took me a whole year of me thinking, do it, not do it, today, tomorrow, no, what if? For some reason, I always had this, you will get nowhere because you are no one yet to the public.
Yes.
And you will be judged. Not everyone will like it. What are you giving to something special? Whoever I tell the idea will tell me, oh, the market is full. So what are you gonna do? What are you adding extras? Who are you? Who are you gonna be? So these things would restrict me so much and would make me feel like, no, I'm not gonna do it. With time, I just came to the concept that I am visiting new places. I am enjoying them. I don't care if those people won't be there. I know someone else will be there. I know I'm not alone in this, and people will find their way.
And at least it brings you joy.
There you go. Once I set the thing to me rather than to what they will think, and I know this is a very cliche kind of quote, and you do it for yourself, but that's the only way you're gonna do it right.
True.
Because it's gonna be coming from inside of you. That yes, I do give them a hard time sometimes. Well, like moving around, please, can I have a picture? Please take a picture. Whether I go out with my brother, with my mom, with my father, whoever I go out with, I'm standing taking pictures everywhere. And it did not start as well as it seems now. Now at least I have established a couple of things of what I actually do. First of all, people thought it's just my second public account.
Mm-hmm.
With time, it took them even time to adapt to the fact that no, I have an idea. I'm not sharing everything. I'm not sharing my personal life. I'm telling you about products and places and hacks and DIYs, things that you can actually use. So with time, people became so much accepting of it. Shway by shway, I started finding very positive feedback. And especially when people that I don't know, it's such a blessing. They tell me, Hala, thank you so much. We use this. Where shall we go when we visit there? If we are in Jeddah, what is your favorite place? When people start getting engaged with you because they understand what you're doing, it pays off everything you were afraid of. And eventually, it doesn't, all this time, I always said this, it doesn't matter how many people you have. It's those that you have are real about it. That was more than enough. You want engaging people. I don't care about the numbers. I care about the quality of those people. They're interested and they get to know what you're doing. So if they don't support you, then they ask you, are you doing this? Are you doing that? Shall we do that? So the more of those three people you have, the less you care about how many in general. You just want them. You want really concerned people.
So the reason why I asked you if whether you were afraid to start or not, because I feel like whenever someone wants to start a new thing to them, or at least they want to start sharing it with people, like more people to see it and stuff like that, they get very afraid and like they always doubt themselves. if they are going to make it, if people are going, to interact with them and stuff like that.
To everyone who is literally afraid to start anything, no matter how big or small, just count your losses. What are you losing if you start this? Literally nothing. But you're gaining something out of it. If it did not work, then you're learning. If it worked, then you took your shot. But what are you losing either way? Of course, if it's a business with a capital, with financial capital and assets, طبعاً it has to be very well prepared, studied. But I'm talking about starting something from scratch that belongs to you, that makes you happy, that whether it's singing, whether it's posting your work. I mean, you're an architecture student. I would love to see pages of students who actually share their work. It's not up for criticism, but it's up for sharing. Like maybe
Yes.
you're just proud of where you are. You're just happy that you accomplished something you thought you could not. These are the things that matter eventually. If you're going to think about who's going to like it and who's not going to like it, you're going to spend your whole life just within your bubble. You're not going to go out of it eventually.
Okay, so you told me that it took you a year to decide whether to start this trial page or not. And like, why did you think it was the right time to finally start? Like, yeah, okay, I'm ignoring all of those self-doubting stuff and I'm just gonna give it a shot.
Because I've had enough. Literally, I've had enough of me going to places, capturing those places with my own eyes and not being able to share it for no valid reason. I did not have one excuse or reason of why are you not sharing. ما في. It was just me questioning whether I'm gonna be able to do it ولا لا. And once I started doing it with complete randomness, when you start doing it with complete passion and you really don't care who will like it, who will not, you will be creative about it. Your content will be attractive eventually, and you will find your audience. You have to deliver something to a target. You have something, you're sharing it with people who will be interested in that topic. So in that sense, I realized I did not have any kind of time restriction. Why not now? I was literally somewhere in a cafe in Istanbul, and I called some of the people that I know. I was like, I'm up for. I started thinking of a logo of how I wanted the trial circle to be like. The name, I had it for so long because I would be trying and trying and trying, and then one day I woke up. I'm like, today I'm gonna do the logo. Today I'm establishing this. Why that day? I have no idea. But I just came to realize that I have so much to give and no reason to not give. So
yes.
there
yeah, I totally understand you because I went through like a similar thing with like YouTube and stuff. I've been wanting to start this channel and get into YouTube since high school, like since I was year 11 or something like that. Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot of time.
Yes.
When did you start?
I started 2018, summer 2018.
That's amazing. Okay. And how do you like it so far?
I enjoy it. I enjoy it because I'm not taking it so hard on myself. Like whenever I feel like doing something and create, a video, then I do it. And if I'm feeling like I don't want to do something, I don't have anything to share, then I just stop, But I find it like quite hard to balance between, university stuff and submissions and all of that and creating videos and enjoying my time.
True.
Yeah.
True. But how has that changed you when you started the vlogging actually? You're not vlogging. How did that change you?
The thing is, I used to vlog our family trips way before I started YouTube. So
no way,
like whenever
that's amazing.
Yeah. So but it wasn't like vlogging. It was like, like okay, today we're going to this place and stuff like that, and it was only
I've seen one of your videos on Instagram and I loved the intro. It was so attractive.
Thank you.
Well, I think it was the last one. It was black and white.
Yeah.
I remember. And that was when I knew you vlog, but I never knew when or why or how.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it was summer 2018. And it was just, again, it was very random to start it. Like, I just had, I think, a free day where I didn't have any submissions or anything related to uni. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna film my first video. And I just set up the camera and everything. And I started talking. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna publish this soon.
That's amazing. But see, even when you did it yourself, you just did not plan it. You did not say, on this day, I'm going to do this. You just woke up and you said, enough is enough. I'm going to do it right now. because
Yeah.
you just feel like you have it, because it's gonna happen.
Yeah, because it was so hard, like 2 years of thinking of whether I should or should not. And I thought a lot about what people are going to think of me. Like, what are people going to say about my YouTube channel? Do I really have something to share and stuff like that? Like exactly how you thought in the beginning. But yeah.
After 2 years, what are your results?
Well, like I was so afraid of judgment from the close people to me. So no, they
Okay.
were very supportive, especially my parents and stuff like that. Like my family
That's
members, they
amazing.
are so supportive of it, and that
That's
all matters
amazing.
for me actually.
Basically, yeah, if you just, yeah, I mean, you shouldn't care about the judgments, but it's amazing you have someone. Positive criticism, I'm
Yes.
always with that. Like my mom, every single time I shoot something, she would look in the background. Hala, there's a chair. Hala, watch
Yes,
out.
yes.
Hala, you're here. Yeah, these
Yeah.
things I find it, they are criticizing, but I find it it's coming out of 100% support. You know,
Yes.
like just a couple of days ago, I was cooking with my brother, and we shared it on the story. And when we were done, my mom literally gave me a lecture about why did I use the old pot because it looks ugly. Like, Mama, it's cooking. Get over it. It's like, no,
Yeah.
you have to give the best picture you can possibly give.
Yeah, it's the same with my mom. Like she would criticize my videos, and whenever I like pull my camera or something, she would be like, "No, no, no, wait! You should take this corner maybe." And like, no, no, maybe you
Yeah,
should.
and yeah, the lighting starts. And
Yeah.
a part of my job, because we shoot for Snapchat and stuff, so sometimes, most sometimes, it happened once that they actually were in need to shoot something at home. I was getting prepared. I went out and I found my mom standing like that. Theo, my brother, they're looking at the corner. Shall she use this? No, the other one. Which one would you like? What about the lighting? What about, like, I wasn't even concerned that much about it.
Yes.
Like, it's a task to be done.
Yes.
But
Yes.
it's really nice when you find it. To be honest, it makes so much more difference when you find this than when you completely find nothing. And part of the trial, a big, big, big part of it was because of the people around me. And
Yes.
my brother randomly shares stuff with me, like, "Can I try this? Let's do that. You go do this." Same goes to with my best friend, my mom. The way they share it, the way they engage, like it's something that
You
really
start
means
connecting more
it,
with
and
people.
it gives you a push. It gives you like,
Yes.
if they're listening, then the rest will listen. I'm gonna do more. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna try this.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Okay, let's go back to your uni days. I
Okay.
know you studied abroad, so how was it? Like, how was the experience?
I'm only 23, but through my 23 years, those were the best 4 years of my life. I loved high school so much, and I was really attached to my parents and my family. We're only four, so attachment to family issues. But anyway, so when I first left, ever since I was a kid, I knew that I'm not gonna study here. I'll finish my bachelor's with my family. I always wanted to travel abroad. See, this traveling thing has been in the back of my head ever since I was even before high school, in
Okay.
middle school. Yeah, I took my first trip alone without my family to Paris when I was grade 9 with my friends.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a school trip, so we had our teachers. My mom was crying, and I was like running to my friends, like, "Hello, we're
Yes.
traveling!" Exactly. And she thought that I would be like, "Mama, bye,
Mm,
Bob." Yeah, it was only her. For me, I was class with I was with the group. "I'll see you later, homie. I'm coming back." So this traveling thing was always in the back of my head. So I know that I'm not gonna settle until I actually travel abroad and finish my bachelor's. I learned a lot, and first, we live in a very conservative community, and we all know that. Whether it's in school, the religion that you're supposed to talk about, how you should dress, you talk, blah blah blah. We all know those kind of restrictions. Uh, when I traveled, I just became more accepting of everyone with whatever they believe in. So I listened more, became more patient. Of course, responsibility level escalated from 0 to 1 million. That there wasn't in between. As I was here, just I never cared about nothing except for my studies. And in one night, I'm responsible of every single thing around me. 2 years later, I'm responsible of an entire house, which was also another kind of responsibility. It changed me in the sense of how to approach people, how to make friends out of nowhere. Although when I first traveled, I traveled with a couple of my friends. But eventually you start to meet people, you select your people, you become a very aware person who should you should be friends
Yes.
with, who's your circle, what is your type. Of course, everyone, I'm no better than no one, but I just find my comfort zone, just like any other person would. Best part of it was the result is that when I traveled, I had made a family. I left my family, traveled there, made a family, and came back. And now I literally miss going back there like I'm missing home.
Yes.
And
It
after
becomes
I
part of
graduated,
you.
big time. 4 years, you're eating, sleeping, waking up together. You're in the same house with my roommates. And you know, two of my roommates we're spending almost every single minute. It was different. It was really nice, and it taught me a lot.
Yes.
If I could advise anyone I know to travel for whatever degree or even for fun or whatever it is, just to get something out of it, I would never hesitate to do that, because the amount of changes, the kinds of people you see, your mindset broadens in a way you don't even expect it. Whatever you think today might change tomorrow.
Yes.
Whatever you had in
100%.
mind today, just because you are living in a different you're just out of the box that you thought was everything for you. No, there is another box of everything to someone else. Just be part of it. You don't have to agree, you don't have to, just watch, listen, accept, and learn. Come back, analyze what you want and you don't want, filter those things out, and make up whoever you want to be, or whoever you would like to see in the mirror in the future.
Yeah, you learn a lot about yourself too, because you face challenges and then you're like, okay, can I do that? Can I not do that?
Every single challenge, you think it's the biggest until you meet up
Yes,
the next
yes,
one.
100%. Yeah.
You think your first year main concern was making friends. Last year main concern was what I'm doing with my life. Between this and that are 4 years of constant thinking and having fun and crying and studying, and it's so many emotions compiled in 4 years. And that's why those 4 years are, I'm just gonna say, the base of who you are, not the previous 18 years. When you were with your family, you're literally spoon fed everything, how you think, who you are, what your traditions are. It comes with a silver spoon in your mouth.
Yeah, and
Just
you're
open
not
it, you're good.
100% responsible of your actions or, the things that are happening. Yeah.
So when you go there and you start finding out what you really like, what you don't like, and the more space you have, the more you get to know yourself.
Yes.
Probably if I say that, maybe if I stayed here, I wouldn't have come up with the ideas that I have came up with so far.
Yeah, you would have been a whole different person.
And it gives you some feelings you wouldn't have expected, like caring for others like they're your children, cooking. Well, there are very tiny things, but when you do it for the first time around people different than your family, it means a lot. I
Yeah.
remember we had our first iftar dinner at our place. We had like a big gathering and we cooked. I felt like a mother, so responsible to set the food on the table by Adhan. You get to sense. I personally don't have a sister, so I got to feel that with someone that is not even
With
a
your
part of
friends.
my blood family, and you can balance accordingly. Yeah.
And how was it coming back from Turkey to Saudi again? Like, how was the adjustment?
I thought it's gonna be harsh because I hear from the people around me that they don't want to settle in Saudi Arabia. No, we hate it. We live there. I never denied that this was my home. Just because I lived somewhere else and I loved somewhere else doesn't mean that this place isn't for me anymore. I did change. I know that. And that's the normal part. If it would be
Yes.
abnormal if I did not change at all. But can I deny that I lived here, grew up here, studied here, lived my entire life here? Of course not. So I'm not gonna nag like, ew, what is this? And I heard that from a lot of my friends as girls, like, it's not hell, by the way. Don't nag like it's the first time you see it. Like, we wear abayas. You wear, for heaven's sake, you wear abayas your whole entire life. Just because you lived 4 years abroad doesn't make you part of them, and this is ugly. This would literally irritate my guts, because they just let go of all the place your childhood, your whole entire life. Whether you like it or not, you just cannot deny that you were there for a long time. So I thought it's gonna be the way they talked about it,
Mm-hmm.
But the first thing that was coming to my mind, I'm coming back to my family. And I have missed on being with family. I miss, like, Eid, Ramadan, a lot of celebrations and occasions that we would spend together. I couldn't spend it because of me studying abroad, so I missed on this for like 4 straight years. It's about time that I go back and live with them and redo our traditions, our way. Family was my number one. I was so determined to find a job as soon as possible. So I started an internship at U-Turn. When I started working, it's not bad at all. The people in my workplace, they were amazing. They were very supportive, very open-minded, very friendly. So that gave me a lot of motivation that
That's
no,
so
it's
good.
fine. Yeah, it's not bad as they seem. They talked
Yeah.
about it. And then I started a full time with them. So I'm like so full during the day. I missed on my friends a lot. And I've been through some times where I just want to open the door and find any of my friends just to let out everything. That was the hardest part of me coming back, not finding the people that I'm used to for 4 years.
Yes, I can 100% relate to that.
Because eventually this is also what gets you attached to the previous place, the
Yes.
people. So not finding them was literally a big burden. And the second worst part was I can't just open the door and go for a walk. These were my only two concerns.
Yeah.
I can't go to the market. I'm always worried about everyone's concerned you're back, it's early, it's late.
Mhm.
Those tiny details took me so much more time than just adapting to the fact that I'm back. But work did me well. It got me up straight. And khalas, it's serious. Khalas, you're focused. And that's it.
Yeah, okay. So when you started working, because I feel like both of your jobs are creative, are very creative. So like, do you have days where you're like, feeling like it's too much on you, or you're self-doubting and you're like, okay, I cannot do this anymore?
I get days where, am I doing what I want?
Mm.
Not sure. I took it because it was there. I was with a very great team. I was in a very reputable place. I had so many pros. Yani the pros were 100. There wasn't any cons back then. But as I started working and things turned to be, from an intern to a full time, I still have this question: do I want this? I don't know. I don't know because I'm too young.
Yes.
Because I'm gonna keep trying. I don't know because it's my first job, and maybe eventually I'm not an employee anymore. I'm just a freelancer. I don't know. Well, I wish I can be that. Again, I'm still too young. But I don't feel that it's too much, or it's too much in terms I miss what I studied. I loved numbers. I loved financing. I loved mathematics. I loved accounting. I missed watching on numbers. Now all I watch is content and social media and social media and a lot of social media.
Okay.
And it's teaching me on a personal level, big time. But do I want to keep on doing this for a good couple of years? I'm not sure.
So if you had an opportunity to work to work in something that is related to your major, you would like quit U-Turn and go to that?
I think.
You think?
Depends. I can't just say just because it's related to my major. It's not enough of a reason.
And we're not talking about
eventually,
companies
at
here.
some
We're just
point-
talking about the job itself.
Not even the companies, not even the.
Yeah.
I mean, just probably I would love to be in a field that is more related to my studies. That's for sure. But right now, would I actually do that? I'm not sure. Disregarding the company, disregarding the concept, but I mean, I need to measure what I'm letting go of compared to what I'm taking. And that's why I said just because it's related, that's not enough of a reason.
Okay, I understand.
Because because where I am working, I have a lot of benefits. I can count them endlessly, and it's enough that you are treated according to creativity, not as an employee with robotic hours. You get this done, it's over. You just no. The fact that it's a creative space, it gives so much flexibility. So I have so many benefits that I really don't want to let go of, and just create a problem of, oh, I'm not working in finance, so I'm gonna leave. No.
I really love what you just said, because a lot of people would be very afraid to work in a creative space, even though they want to do so, but they would be like, no, but I studied, something else. I should work in that field. And like, I should use my, like bachelor's degree or something like that.
Well, dear, I came to realize something, which is a debate that I was about to open on my page on trial. To what extent is that title of your bachelor's or the whole bachelor's degree itself is important besides the title, besides that you are a uni grad? What else does it give you? It's a tool. It gives you access to companies, blah 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 blah. But I mean, doesn't limit your skills, because your skills are things you develop. Doesn't say who you are, because you can be a top engineer with the worst personal traits, or you can be someone that is so smart but couldn't afford the studying.
Yeah.
So I can't judge the three of them just on, well, a bachelor's. I never knew personally if I always thought I'm not creative, I swear. And I hated marketing, and I hated creating, like, engaging things and how to get to the audience. I hated advertising. All what I'm doing right now is something I hate to do in there. But what happened is, by accident, I got into a marketing course, and the professor was amazing. And he taught us how everything around you works from a marketing perspective, not a financial one. I started broadening up my thoughts regarding marketing, and I found it a very strong tool. And then during my internship, I attended the brainstorming meetings. I would just throw ideas on top of my head, something that would cross my mind, and they would take it seriously. Like, oh, Hala said this, oh, nice one, oh, nice idea. I'm like, oh, I can do that. Not hard. I literally, all I did was just said what's on my mind. I did not read, I did not study. I just thought what would be nice and what wasn't. I don't even have a definition for what's nice. As a person, I don't know what is the criteria to say this is important, this is not important, this is good, this is bad. And slowly I just got to know during my work time that I can be creative. It's very important that you try something out of your box,
comfort zone.
I read a book. It's called "You Are More," something about creativity, but the art of thinking, something like that. The point is, on the cover of the book, it says you are more creative than you think. Yes. And one chapter talked about how in one setting they gave the camera to a director, and they gave the writing to the cameraman, and they switched roles within the same people and the same team. The outcome was something no one ever expected, because as a cameraman, when I think of scenario that I'm about to write, I would think differently, because I don't have nothing. I have no limits. Yeah. I don't say this is going to work, this is not going to work. I'm just going to do it because it's coming out of, oh, this might be nice. And same goes with the other. So when you come up with something that you haven't tried yet, since your brain cells don't even have a limit for it, maybe I can come up with an architectural, for example, design, and say this, probably physics-wise it won't work, but giving it a try doesn't hurt.
Yeah, it really annoys me when people say, for example, when you tell them, first of all, try this thing, it might work, and they are like, no, we cannot do it. Like, you can do way better than you think you can. So just give it a shot.
And you will only know when you're forced to try.
Yeah.
And that's the whole concept of trial. You can never tell, because for everything there's a first time, and you can never tell what your first time will be like unless you go through it. You can't just hear about it.
Okay, so last thing. Give me advice for people who want to start, like, a new page on Instagram, like a new business or something like that, or even go work full-time on something that is different from their bachelor's degree or certificate.
For starting a business, just count your losses. If there's something that you're truly going to lose out of doing this, then consider once, twice, 3 times and think very well about it. But if there's nothing to lose, what's your worst case scenario? Close the page, go for it. Mm-hmm. What's your best case scenario? It's going to work, go for it. Either way, you're not losing anything. And I'm not going to say we are running out of time, but our pace nowadays is very fast compared to old days.
Yeah.
Yeah, we live a life that is so fast-paced. Today, a brand comes out, 3 months later, the top brand in the whole entire, you don't even know why or how. So maybe if you start today, in 3 months you will make a difference, because every day counts. This is really important personally, and this is where it all started of starting trials. As for working somewhere besides your bachelor's, you can never know your limits unless you're passionate about it. So if you're passionate about architecture and you think it's your thing, keep doing it till the very last breath. But who cares if you studied engineering and you work as a photographer?
Yes.
As long as you love it, and of course it depends on your responsibilities, how it makes you a living, blah blah blah. But who am I? Who is each and every single one around you to judge if you're gonna do this differently? And eventually your degree will be a degree. Congratulations. You are a successful person to get that. But what you do is something that you should love. I always thought it doesn't matter as long as you're getting paid. I swear to God, waking up every day knowing that you're gonna do something that you don't like is the most demotivating thing you can do to yourself. It eats you every day more and more without you even realizing. Just one day you're gonna pop out. And no, I'm not gonna do the same.
You're
So
gonna hate your life, like at the end of the day.
Big time. I swear to God, I always thought about that. It doesn't matter as long as you're getting well paid. No, it matters. It matters because the way you think, what are you gonna think about? Where are you gonna be spending your time? Where your energy is going is all revolving and moving around that topic. So if it's not something that you're gonna be passionate about, or at least like, then you're spending it on the wrong place. And believe me, this is the time of your life, so why waste it?
Yes, 100%.
And I really hope everyone literally follows their heart when it comes to studying and working. No one is going to be there in their shoes to try and feel what is it like to do what you love.
Yeah, only you who can decide.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I really hope this actually means something to them.
Thank you so much for doing this with me.
This was one of the greatest cup of coffees I had through the quarantine. Thank you so much for this.
I really appreciate you being here and talking about all of this. I really learned a lot and it inspired me a lot. So thank you so much.
I really hope you do your vlog the way you like it, and I really hope you enjoy it. So keep doing it because you have a really positive impact.
Thank you so much. And I love your page, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you.